Okay, everybody, it's time for another garden update. Let's start here with the collards. They are looking phenomenal, really starting to blow up. I hit them with a little bit of rabbit manure maybe 3 or 4 days ago. Peppers looking good. They're not really getting super huge, but they are coming along. The stars of the show is this squash on rabbit manure. Look at that difference. Is that crazy? The only thing different with that plant is the rabbit manure. I mean, it's not even, look at that. That's crazy. Rabbit manure is the bomb, especially for the fruiting plants, I can tell so far. My potatoes just will not stop growing. I've tied them up twice. They've broken the rope. They've leaned the whole thing over sideways. I'm just going to let them go and do what they do. Hopefully there'll be some taters. Next time I'm going to put them up against not a wall, but maybe some 2x4 cattle panel or something, so I can tie them to it, something strong enough to hold them up. Running a stake down through there now really wouldn't do anything, because if I try to stand up the limbs and tie them, they seem to want to break. So I'm just going to kind of let them lean and do what they do, and hopefully it'll all work itself out. I went ahead and constructed a rack for the tomatoes so I can tie them up, because you'll notice these things are all crooked. They kept laying over. These are the hydroponic ones. Something to think about. Yeah, these things work great when the plants are small, but when they get heavy, they can't support the weight of the plant. So as you can see, I've got them tied off. They'll straighten up here over the next week or so, and then I'll just keep wrapping them around this vine and just let them grow all the way up. But I've got all 6 of the tomatoes here. They're in the same order they were when they were over there. You got the Zack, Cherokee Purple, Beefsteak, Zack, Purple, Beefsteak. These 3 are hydroponics. These 3 are dirt with rabbit manure. The rabbit manure with the tomatoes is doing awesome. One thing I can tell, I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera or not, but the hydroponic tomatoes, they're so green, they're almost black. It's crazy how dark green they are versus the normal tomatoes. These are a lot lighter. It looks like it's hard to tell on the camera because it's kind of late at night, or it's late in the afternoon, but the hydroponic ones are a good couple shades darker than the soil tomatoes. I'm guessing that's because of the hydroponic nutrients. I don't know. We will see. I'm going to come through here tomorrow and prune and get a couple of suckers and maybe stick them in the dirt and go ahead and try to get some second batch going from these. That's it for the garden. While I've got you, we'll go ahead and take a look at the rabbits. I went ahead and switched the rabbits to the second cage that I built. This was the first cage. The second cage, I built it with drop-down nest boxes, you can see. So that way I don't have to add a nest box and take it out and add a nest box and take it out, because it kind of reduces their room in the cage to run around. So I built drop-down nest boxes. And what I did, I got a little creative, because the tile in there stays cool in the summertime so they can lay out on it and get some coolness on their bellies. But what I did is I went ahead and anchored the tile down so it doesn't move. And you can also see that it's an undercover area for them to have their babies. I got a little bit creative with that, so hopefully that'll work good. But they seem to love the drop-down nest boxes. At least 3 of them actually hang out in there most of the day and sleep in there at night. As you can see, he's loving his nest box. This one's always in the nest box, and he's a male. This is Tribe. This is the big buck. This is a male, and this is a male. They were supposed to be does, but they're not. This is she's the only breeding age female, and I bred her on the 11th. So in about 3 weeks, we should have some babies. This is Milkmaid. She's a doe. She's only 6 weeks old. And this is her brother. Haven't named him. I'm actually going to see if I can talk to the rabbit guy I got him from and swap him out for another doe. I'm either going to process these 2 males and go ahead and get them in the freezer, or I'm going to try to sell them or swap them for a doe. I think I'm actually going to keep this one because he's got a really pretty gray color to him, and he'll be my backup buck to Tribe, because Tribe is about 16 and a half, 17 months old. So he's got another maybe 5 to 6 months of breeding in him, and then I'm going to retire him. He'll be retired to the backwoods. So I'm thinking about keeping him as my backup buck, and then he'll be good for 2 years, and then I'll save a buck from this litter probably to make sure I have 2 bucks at all times. Because what I'm going to do with this set of cages here is I'm going to go ahead and mount them probably right here where it's at actually, and I'll move this buck into this cage, and I'll get him 5 does to breed with. So I have 2 separate strains, because neither one of these 2 bucks are related, and none of the does that they'll be mating with will be related. So I have 2 separate strains, a whole bunch of really cool genetics, because in these 6 rabbits I have here, he's not related to anybody. These 3 are 2 brothers and a sister, and that's a brother and a sister, but they are from different strains. They all have different fathers, and they all have different mothers. So I can breed any of these 3, whichever 2 I keep, to here or back to Tribe, and just go back and forth. But that's my plan so far. We'll see how it works out. Stay tuned for the breeding. I'm actually even thinking about trying to get a night vision camera and mounting it on the nest box for Za when she goes into labor. And I'm trying to think if I can get a night vision camera or something out here to where I can just run it live when she goes into labor, and just like maybe cover it. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get creative with it one way or another and figure it out. I mean, it's probably smart if I don't do it the first time a rabbit breeds, because she might not have any babies. They might die or something might go wrong. But smart money says to wait until I know what I'm doing a little bit more. But I'm kind of anxious, and I'm anxious to show my failures as well as the successes. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I got 3 years to try to figure it out and see what I'm going to do. But you guys wish me luck. And here is the makings of my compost pile. This is all the hay that fell through and the rabbit manure since I've had the rabbits. It's quite a lot, actually. So I'm going to have a lot of rabbit fertilizer to sell and or give away. But that's it for the update, you guys. Stay tuned for more, and I will talk to you later.